Hi, I'm Kimberly Capone. Welcome to my design process. So the befores of this room, super interesting. A room that is being renovated, which is super fine as long as we know what the intent is at the end. So a couple things, we need to make sure we know baseboard heights. We need to make sure there's no crown molding going in because then we can't measure for curtains. And we need to know if there's any painting or anything structural that's going to change. So in this case, the client decided to change the feature wall from around the window, which is not a feature wall, that should have never been painted that way, to the adjacent wall that is going to house the credenza and mirror. So the rendering of this project helps us to perfectly analyze where everything's going to go. Little tip, guys, you need 36 inches, 3 feet, to clearly pull out a dining chair. And this is why we need the renders to help us locate where everything's going to go. You need it for the chairs, for the left wall and the right credenza, and you're also going to need it for your carpet placement because you don't want your guests being half off and half on the carpet. It's going to create a tripping hazard and also can scratch your floors. So here's what we decided to do. 12 chair dining table. So this dining table is 12 feet, and the beauty of this, there are no divisions, there's no leaves. It is one solid piece of smooth maple, which is super beautiful. Love that little expansion joint around the side of the table. It is there so that the table skirt does not crack, but it's an absolutely beautiful detail. Those chairs are super transitional. They will last the test of time. A little bit of tufting in them. Back fabric is one color, seat fabric is another. The seat fabric is spill repellent, which I suggest that you do. And then the credenza ties it right in and coordinates perfectly, still with smooth maple. In this case, we use vintage silver, which is a little bit of a gray, blacky stain, and it still shows the grain of the wood. To accessorize the space, let's start with the light fixtures. So a light fixture over the dining table. Now, if you notice, the dining table is rectangular, but the light fixture is round. Why? Because there is a canopy on top, a medallion actually. The medallion is round, so we had to meet that. And then that means you need a canopy of a chandelier that's round. So typically round goes with round. It's not always the case, but in 99.9% of the time. Okay, let's talk about the accessories, my absolutely favorite part. You would not put lamps on the credenza because you have wall sconces. You would block them, doesn't make any sense. So what we did was a bunch of beautiful accessories as the client didn't need the tabletop for serving. So some candle holders, a vase with some flowers and leaves, 3 cute, beautiful little object art with little rosettes on top with a marble base, and then some boxes. Now those are so beautiful. Those can be used anywhere in the house, but for today we put them in our dining room with a great big huge 48-inch round beveled gold mirror to tie it all in, and then a flower arrangement on the dining table, which is super beautiful. And if you wanted to add a little bit of extra protection to this table, we do offer the service that will laminate the top of a wood table and will protect it for 5 years.